Hello, hi, welcome.
You know,
Welcome.
what's going on?
We're
Now that
here
the
for another Older and Doodle. Halfway to hype? Halfway to
Yeah.
hype is what I'm going with. Halfway to hype
halfway to
stream.
hype,
I like
the
it.
halfway hype, gates open, hype train's leaving, baby!
I love it.
What's going on, everybody? We are back for another one. So maybe we should start with a little bit of update on the Kickstarter. Does anyone think that's a good idea? Yeah.
Well,
yeah.
there might be people here who don't know what's going
Exactly. Yeah.
on.
So,
Like who are all these strangers on Emily's stream?
Do you know, for the number of people I've had on this stream, no one has ever asked. No one has
Crazy.
ever
Who
asked who the
strangers
strange
are?
people are. Nope.
Well, we're the AI crew, so
Oh.
you probably are familiar with at least three of us. One is
Yeah.
brand new though, but still
Ooh.
part of the AI crew.
AIP.
We, of course, have the wonderful and, as always, swan named Emily. Oh.
Hello. Oh, hey. I can do my things. Yeah,
You
keep
can do
doing
your thing. Yeah, I do that. You do the thing. Yeah.
Yeah.
She's wonderful. She's got red hair. And there you go. I ad-libbed more so you could throw it in there. And next, we have, of course, Joey Schichtel. Artist extraordinaire with the dance moves that just go all the way to the moon.
'Cause
My
he's
sayings
so
don't make any
tall.
sense tonight. I'm just,
like it.
saying what I want.
Hunter was
You gotta-
not
you gotta
ready for
ad-lib
this.
them. And of course, for the first time ever, we have standing in the bottom left corner of the screen with the flyest shirt you've ever seen. I think he's frozen. Joe Holly.
Nah, his internet's just bad. He told us that.
This is incredible.
He's in Alaska, guys.
He's so on fire. He's cold.
Hey, let's keep out, so I don't know.
Oh, no.
Hear you guys.
He's. Oh.
Oh, Joe the Transformer.
Oh.
Megatron?
And then, of course, we have animator extraordinaire, the master behind Fizzy, Gervon, with the coolest glove of all time.
Need him for your tablet.
My other one looks like a skeleton. It's actually cooler, but I don't
That
know.
is
Yeah,
cooler.
I love your skeleton one.
You got big La Parka vibes with that one.
I wear that one. I wear that one to work, so all the kids think I'm cool.
Yeah.
Gotta earn their respect, And today, joining us, we have player of Coralthia Waking Fates and the voice of Fizzywick Fizzbang, David.
Oh, Fizzy's here, and Fizzy's on the hype train.
You can
Some
also
call
use
it-
that gamer tag for Fortnite.
David the Fizzbang or Fizzywick Fizzbang?
No, at L David, you're into elite speak.
Oh.
I
Oh,
understand.
yeah.
I understand the old tongue, brother.
Ah! Kindred Hearts! And I am your MC for the night, your weaver of questions, your bringer of topics, your soother of sayer, and person
Conductor of this
behind
hype train.
Conductor of this hype train. Hunter, voice of Hunter, Taylor. What's going on? Thank you for the snaps. I love the snaps. That's my favorite.
Snap.
I can hear it a little bit. I can definitely hear
Okay.
it. Yeah. So first off, guys, we are here today because of the hype stream. This hype stream is for our Kickstarter, Coralthia Waking Nightmares and Forgotten Fates, which, by the way, let me go ahead and share my screen for a moment.
Okay, let's do it.
Maybe.
Early on in the stream, I like
Here
it.
we go. Yeah.
Trying
And
something daring,
boom.
bold.
Okay.
This is our Kickstarter, Coralthia Waking Nightmares and Forgotten Fates. As you can see, guys, actually, as you can't see because it doesn't have a percentage symbol, but we are at 75%
I
funded.
like to say 76%. Some people say 75, but I say 76.
We are halfway through, hence the halfway half pipe hype stream. Yeah, guys, we 75% there. We got 31 backers. We're almost there. We're so close. It's just like,
$735.
Thank you. Thank you. Boy, I was trying to make a smart person joke, but I can't think of a name of a smart
That's
person.
okay. We're not expecting that of you.
No.
I did my best. But we're so close.
That's why
guys.
you're a co-host of the Older and Dumber podcast.
Yeah. If you haven't checked out the Kickstarter or gone to the page, I'm sure our great Swan has made a prompt for the chat that will give you the link now.
Oh, I did the thing. I did the Kickstarter thing. I didn't do it for the link. Dang it.
Oh,
Dang it, Hunter.
no.
Dang it.
It's
I
okay.
can put
Well,
a link in chat, right?
Nope.
nope.
Yeah.
Nope.
I wouldn't
can't.
try either because I knew that beforehand.
There we go. I got it.
I
did it.
we can get in there.
That's a really nice
There we
number.
go.
Look at 31 humans. That's so nice.
Yeah.
31 humans. Heck yeah.
Well, 28 humans and 3 corpos.
A fun number you might like to know is that currently for these numbers, this is 300 copies of our book being printed.
That's crazy.
Is that not crazy, guys?
That's awesome.
300 copies in the world for people to put their grubby little hands on.
Your tiny little raccoon mitts.
Exactly. But yeah, guys, this is what we're doing. Obviously, if you have heard about the Kickstarter already, you already know the whole backstory and such. But I think obviously we should start this off with talking about the backstory again for those
With
who
the history
don't know.
video. Let's go.
Oh God! Whole history video once again. Oh my gosh! I might as well
Sorry.
just play the promo video at that point. My
I'm sorry.
goodness!
I didn't realize I chose chaos tonight, but I chose chaos tonight.
Yeah. No, it's okay.
Chaos is always fun.
Always fun.
That is D&D. It's the essence of D&D.
It's true.
Yeah.
I feel like Hunter rolls up in here like ready to run such a nice stream, and because he's a GM, I'm just like, well, now I need to make mischief because this is what happens. Like, you take your position, I take mine. This is how it goes, and yeah, this is your
we
life
had
now.
that. We had that exact thing happen on this week's episode when the party was introduced to the croak wardens, the frogs of the island they landed on, and all anybody wanted to do was yell and be mean at the frogs instead of hearing their plight.
I wanted a frog to help me make traditional croak warden clothing so
Right.
that my adventure would be in the proper costuming.
Yes,
Fizzy
yes. Well,
appreciated the Frog Beach Boys.
the frog
Yeah.
Beach Boys.
The frog
Dude,
Yeah,
I love the singers. I started singing with them.
Do they make frog sounds?
They sung
better.
like the choir parts of the song, the chorus.
The Croak Sayer Bojapip was a frog
sure.
person that came out and helped the party with an encounter, and he's followed by 3 smaller frog entourage who at the end of every sentence they like repeat it in a song. So he's
Aw.
like, yeah, so he's like,
It's like Tom Nook and Timmy and Tommy.
yeah,
Exactly.
we're going to go to the village now, and then they're all like, the
village.
village.
Amazing. I am excited.
Moss
Walking
Queen.
through the forest to the village now.
Exactly.
Oh, they're so fun. And you guys were mean to them?
Yeah,
No,
they were very
no.
mean.
I was
They
not.
were
I
so
sang with them.
Sorry, Kaith and Moss were very mean to them.
Yeah, that's
Oh.
natural.
Sure,
though.
Moss
the
didn't
two,
like-
the 2 who are not here.
The
Moss didn't like
elves,
any of
you know
their
what I'm
names.
saying? You can't trust them with their pointy ears.
The only 2 that aren't here.
Yeah, nobody.
Wednesdays?
Moss.
Think
I
not.
think not. Moss didn't like any of their names. You know, like Princess Lily the Twice Ribbit. You know, they didn't enjoy that. That was my favorite one.
You know what's crazy though is these frog people were like, "Hey, we are specifically looking for a powerful druid. There is a powerful druid in your party. Please come and help us." And Moss instantly, I don't want
No.
any part of this.
Yeah, yeah.
All right,
Never heard of her.
never heard of her. All right, so guys, we are working on the Kickstarter tonight with our wonderful, amazing artists all together in one place. And for those of you who don't know what exactly it is we're working on, it's Coralthea, Waking Nightmares and Forgotten Fates, a comic anthology based on our D&D live play, which has me, the DM, Joey playing as Rara, and David playing as Fizzy. We also have 2 more players who aren't here right now, but we have Carter, who plays Kaith, and we have May, who plays Moss. All of these characters come together for a wild and wacky adventure through a world that has seen better days, one might say.
No,
But-
aren't we in a high, like a renaissance right now?
A little bit, yeah.
Like,
No, there was
great.
you're at the, well, I mean, your characters don't know it, but you're at the sort of
The bell curve. The bell curve is
bell
starting to
curve
go
of
down.
Renaissance. Yeah, exactly. Those signs are starting to be seen across the world.
Listen, guys, the last party, we took care of it all. These guys, fuck ups.
Yeah.
But with this comic anthology, each of our artists are taking on one of the characters, and they are, in their own style, taking a nightmare or flashback of those characters and turning them into individual comics, anywhere from 6 to 8 pages, maybe more if they will go crazy. Who knows? Joey specifically.
maybe 10 right now.
Oh man!
Trying to dial it back, but I got inspired today. So
Joey, you can have my extra 2. I'll share.
But what I would like to start here is for each of you artists to say who it is you are drawing. And so you're going to tell me who it is you're drawing and your favorite thing about that character. We're going to start with Swan. Who are you drawing? What's your favorite thing about him?
I'm drawing Moss, which is May's character, and I love her big expressive face.
she's a real Kevin McAllister, honestly.
Yeah.
A real
Actually-
precocious little scamp.
Precocious scamp.
I like it.
Yeah,
I
I
like
could-
that scamp energy.
I could definitely agree. Joey?
I am drawing Rara Chiro, who I also play in the game, so I have a bit of a deeper insight to Rara, but I like the fact that she is very much a character who is putting on a mask to deal with some deep trauma in her past that she desperately wants to unpack, but doesn't know how to unpack it, and is worried that it will drive her new friends away.
Yeah. The classic, nobody will love me if they know the truth. But then if they know the truth, they might love you. You know, you never know. It's a
You never
50-50
know.
chance, really. Holly, who are you drawing and what's your favorite part about them?
I'm drawing Caliph. He's like, I guess he's an elf. And
Nice.
Nailed it.
Nailed it.
No notes.
he is an elf. And my favorite part about drawing this is got that dark background that I like about most characters. So he's got kind of like a Drake Stewart and kind of feel. So, yeah. So
Yeah. Nice. I mean, it's a big reason why we picked you for Kaith. I mean, it's just right down.
No, you're knocking them out of the park, dude.
Oh, awesome.
Yeah.
I'm going to be so real that I don't think anybody else is going to do it the same amount of justice.
Yeah, everyone else just does the face of Kaith and puts him in a cloak. Nobody
Right.
does anything more
I'm
than
going to hide half of his face.
They really. Who's that guy? Rob. We were just talking about him earlier.
Rob Liefeld? Yeah, we really Rob Liefeld.
They just cloak him all the
Yeah.
time. You know, nobody. And
But
Jeff,
I did like the way the cover
Go ahead.
came out, though.
It's fantastic.
Yeah.
which
so I
we're
tried
gonna
go by
show
with
off
that.
a little.
Actually, I was not going to Rob Liefeld that one, so he will have a bowstring on that drawing. So just so you know.
Nice. And now we'll move over to Jeff. Jeff, who are you drawing, and what's your favorite part about them?
I'm doing Fizzy, and I like the squished anatomy and the bushy beard and hair, and I love drawing cartoony stuff like that. So
Yeah.
Hell
I will say, already in just your sketches and what I'm already seeing here too as well and before, you're getting his little singed mustache perfect.
yeah,
Oh, yeah. It is
See that
beautiful,
right in
man.
the little tiny. It's great.
Oh yeah, it's a nice little fun detail about Fizzy that which actually David can talk about tonight at some point once we get there.
Hey.
But I want to start us off with a very fun question. Before we got to get in really fun first before we get really deep. So we're gonna start with a fun question. These stories are about nightmares and flashbacks and the horrible parts of a character's backstory and the things that keep them up at night and the memories that sort of follow them throughout their life and their journey that make them who they are, who makes them what they are and who they are. Now, if there was a popular / famous horror character who was to direct the movie for this comic, who would be the one to direct yours? We can start with Joey because I think he knows the most horror characters.
Horror director or horror character?
Character. So would Jason be the best person to direct this comic?
Which characters?
Freddy
directing?
Krueger or yeah. Which horror character directly could direct your comic the best?
I'm gonna say Sky Riley from Smile 2.
Ooh.
Yeah, I thought you were gonna go.
She is very rah-rah. They are almost adjacent characters.
What makes you say that?
She is also a dancer celebrity. They have a very similar look. They have a very much the child star turned into a pop star background. There's a lot of pain there dealing with their mother who's pushing them into a specific role that they have to play. And the Smile movies deal a lot with like it's actually like an allegory for like the mental trauma that the characters are going through. So
wow. See, we started fun, got a little deep, and now we're gonna go to the next person. Who's got theirs ready?
I do.
Yeah? All right, give it to us.
Pinhead from Hellraiser.
Whoa!
Oh, yeah.
Why do you say that?
He seems like he'd be the kind of person in the background that's taunting Caliph, you know. I don't know. For some reason I could just see him in the background just talking to him and kind of torturing him or whatever.
Oh,
you know?
I can definitely see that portion. I mean,
yeah, and then there's the tendrils, and it reminded me of the chains and everything. So,
oh, okay, yeah. Yeah, he came in being like, it's got to be chains, and then somebody was like, oh no, it's got to be tentacles, and he was upset about it, but he was like, fine, it's kind of the same thing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm glad it was tentacles and not chains. That would have been a bitch to draw.
Oh, very nice choice. Very nice choice.
Yeah.
Before we move on, Swan, right now, before you do any other coloring, Rara right now looks like she's like, it's a good pizza.
We were talking about the breadsticks and the cannolis in chat earlier. Now I just want Italian food.
Chicken parm sounds real good right now.
Oh,
ooh, heck yeah.
Yeah.
All right, who has theirs?
As someone who is super well versed in this question that you've asked, because I watch so much horror, it's so much. It's so much. I'm gonna say the Babadook because of his online presence, where he became a little gay icon scamp, and that feels like the correct amount of internet energy that I think Moss has.
You know what's really funny is I think May would agree with you that she would say the same thing about that, and mostly because the name is fun to say.
It's very fun to say.
Jeff, what about you?
I don't know.
The leprechaun.
I was
Yeah,
just
that's the first thing that popped into my head too. But that's ableist, isn't it? Like, because he's just short. You're just being
Wow.
stereotypical.
Well, we've officially named
no.
all of the horror characters that I know, so.
Right. Yeah, I'm kind of
nice.
behind the eight ball on that one too. I'm not a huge horror guy, but I don't know. Like from these flashbacks and stuff don't feel so scary as they do more making him determined. So they don't feel more nightmarish as much as they're things that are motivating. So I don't know.
It'd have to be like a horror character that's one that's not so scary, but one that sort of like makes us think more about the world and the people around us, like a real like Madara type from Naruto or something. You know, like
Shaun of the Dead.
Shaun of the Dead.
Ooh.
The fucking fat guy.
Nick Frost.
Oh, Nick Frost.
His real
I
name.
think so.
But I don't know his name in Shaun of the Dead.
I don't know.
That's here. Let's find out. I'll look it up right now.
His name is Ed.
There
Ed?
you
It is
go.
Nick Frost, but it is Ed.
Yeah.
No, I was confident about the
Character
actor's name.
name. Character name is what we're
Character
trying to
name, I
figure
had
out.
no clue.
Character's name is Ed. I'll do you one. Not a character, but a director. I think that would work great for Fizzy is Spielberg.
Ooh.
And Spielberg or Hooper, they both have those sort of early horror roots that are very familial bonds. They're really good with character, like the real like Americana sort of coming of age.
Yeah.
I think that fits Fizzy's backstory, at least what we've seen, very well.
Yeah. I could also, and it's not as much as Spielberg, but I could see Michael Bay strictly because of the amount of explosions.
The explosions.
And nothing but explosions. But yeah,
I guess I should bring a page up here. Everybody's drawing so diligently.
Yeah, Joe, you're the only one who doesn't have anything on your screen. Ooh.
Yeah, but
Oh, look,
he
it's a
came
brand new page.
He came to play with the answers tonight.
Yeah.
He actually answered the question.
He did do that.
I'll show you my poor man's page since you guys using this screen. So
You know what?
Hey,
You're working
no,
traditionally, though, so
yeah.
that's something to be appreciated.
No, do
For
that
sure.
one. Oh,
It's gone.
Oh,
You're showing
that's
it.
ha!
for you.
Oh,
that's
man.
So clean.
Oh,
That is slick,
So fresh
man.
and so clean.
Those all look terrible. Thanks, Joe.
It's fine.
It is terrible.
all right.
Well,
Here's
as an artist, all of our work looks terrible.
Aw, you guys are so hard on yourselves.
You said hard on.
I love. Thank you.
Someone finally did it to us.
I'm gonna be that guy.
This is
I
the
love all
correct
your guys'
energy
work.
for this channel and this stream.
Yes.
I love all your guys' work. I love all of you, and I love everything we do together. It makes me happy
Aw.
every single day.
We love your voice.
Oh,
And your face.
my God. All right, well, you're loving my voice so much. Hear a question come out of it. Here is the next one. So this one's a little more a technical question of what you guys have been doing so far. What's one, or if you want to explain more, visual motif or theme you have used to represent specific emotions in your pages so far?
Do you want to pick one of us? Or should we scrape them out?
Dude, Joe is like tap thinking. So I won't start there. I'll give you a minute. Let's go to Swan.
Oh, good. Okay.
That's how you have us. You have us in a circle, so I'm just going left to right.
It's okay. I got this. Visual motif or theme? A theme?
That you've used to
I will
represent-
say in a way I have specific plans for the color palettes and really using that to drive some of the emotion. So dropping out a lot of the color from the background and highlighting the character color, and because it's kind of set at nighttime, like that's going to drive a lot of the through line, and because there is kind of this light blue cyan tint that's going to happen to a lot of the more magical elements, that's going to kind of be something that you see throughout. I'm hoping to, this is me putting this out to the universe that future Swan will remember this. I would like to have some of the fire that shows up. I can actually show it, maybe? Yeah. So this kind of like more, thank you, Kat, for headbutting my mic on the way Um, this kind of stylized fire, I can't think of words, to have the tinges of that cyan be a part of it already, so that when it flips and becomes her kind of accepting it, that cyan then becomes like the creatures and the tattoos and stuff like that, so that you saw it show up in this, the highlights of the trees and the moonlight, and then you saw it become kind of the aggressor in that part, and then ends up kind of helping lead into the calm part of that. So that's definitely like the color story that I've wanted to tell. I think there's a number of shots where I was very specifically trying to force her to be alone in the center of a panel. So feeling very things coming in from all sides. So you can see that. And like pushing in there, or her being alone and
I'm
alone
being
and alone
dragged
and
down.
yeah, and so consistently being alone in the panel, and feeling that loneliness.
That's wonderful. Yeah, wow. So wow. Round of applause. Round of applause.
Did it.
Nice job. First one done. Very beautiful. I love it. I do love the idea of how you specifically want to keep her in the center of each panel, and like that loneliness for Moss is kind of big. Of course, she's not here to talk about it. I would love to have you done that and then been like, May, how do you think that
How do
portrays?
you feel?
But
She's
not
like,
here,
I
so
gotta get my black belt, loser.
I get it. I get it.
But with the upbringing that Moss has had, being alone is definitely something that has drawn her to where she is and the way she acts. But as she has found this group, definitely has opened her up in a different way in which her home life was not. So she definitely is, if I were to say what she's feeling, at least from what I see as the DM, she has gone from wanting to be alone, and not even just wanting to be alone, but having been alone, and then seeing that as her normal life, coming into a place where she is able to speak with people who feel that she is needed. Whereas before, all she felt was alone. Yeah. Joey.
Wait, pause for a moment.
Oh, I'm pausing.
The amazing Songheart has redeemed and reminded us all to save our work.
Songheart, I'm just getting started.
And that's when it crashes and Joey didn't save. Wow.
No,
Wow.
Well, now it's ruined. I quit. Comic over.
Oh, man. Well, Joey, we can move over to you for the same
Sure.
question. Do you need to hear it again, or?
Yeah, ask it again. So in case new people joined.
It's a good point. Joey, what's one or maybe more visual motifs or themes that you have used to represent specific emotion in your pages? Whether it be, fear or sadness or
So this
pain.
page is a good example. I use text a lot in my design for pages to sort of lead into the next page or lead into the next panel, or guide your eyes around the page. I know we were talking about it the other day. You were like, oh, you're like, you're dropping lettering in and you're half inked, and it's all because that's how like I visualize the motion of the page. And like I was saying, this page in particular is a good example as we lead into the next page. So this is going into Rara's third flashback. So let me bring up the previous page.
Ooh. Can we make Joey big?
We sure can.
I wish I could do that so I wouldn't have to bother you.
That'd be
That's okay.
crazy, dude. I lost all my pages because I've named them all different things.
Look at this pop right down here, like we're getting punched.
Yeah, so
Love
that's
it.
what I'm talking about. But I just want to get the previous page so we can show what leads into this. And I think they're under D&D comic. So let's see if that's
interesting.
correct.
What would I have called it?
D&D Kickstarter comic.
One of those things.
You know, Hunter criticized me because I took screenshots and put them in the.
I did do that.
The great thing about screenshots is you can go back and check and see what your work is called. Except I hit the F button so I get rid of all the information on the page.
Fantastic.
So anyway, let me draw this with my words. We go through a flashback.
Your word picture.
The flashback is Rara being bullied. She's having a little bit of a panic attack. She's pressed up against the wall. It's very much Jamie from Halloween 4.
Okay.
She's hyperventilating, holding her chest. She's repeating that you're okay. And as we cut back to the present, we have present Rara sighing and saying that she's okay. We cut into this will be the next page. Get it together, go into your next stretch, goes into it. Again, stretches her broken ribs. Immediate pain. And we go into this pop. And I got this idea while I was driving to work. And I was like, oh, I have to redo the entire end of my comic and add 2 pages. So her ribs pop. And we have the pop. Then we're going to cut into the scene that leads us into the next page with a wine bottle or a champagne bottle being uncorked and popping. And then we're going to get into the flashback where it's this crowd of people that Rara's mother has invited to the event where her daughter is dancing at like a dinner party or something. And the butler is like filling a glass of champagne. So that'll be like the next panel on the next page. So the pop is leading you from that future scene where she's like struggling through this set of stretches into the flashback that is her, traumatic experience in her past. So yeah, I'd say a big thing for me has been like working through my pages with type, and I think that's the big motif for me is like, how is the sound effects and the dialogue and everything leading the audience through the page.
Wonderful. I love it. Yes. Sometimes I get speechless. I really got to let my words come to my mouth before my brain does. All I can say is I love it. Joe, have you finally made some thoughts?
Oh, me?
Yeah. Me?
Yeah, like I'm just listening to how you guys came about and broke stuff down and everything. For me, usually I just my motive is I'll read the script and I'll read it fully and I'll try to break down. Since it was like a 3-page script I printed out, I needed to make 8 pages out of it. So basically what I did was just read through the script and I'll pick parts in the story where one page would start and one would end and everything, and I would start over with that. So,
can we make Joe big? Sorry.
So, but yeah, it's usually that's usually how I'll break pages down when I get a script like that. So I noticed that like there wasn't really any like, breakdowns. Like it was all like just one paragraph and stuff. I'm like, all right, I'll figure out how to, make the panels and the pages and everything. But yeah, that's where I ended up getting like 8 pages of the story that I came up with. But it's cool. I like breaking stuff down like that. And as far as everything else goes, I'll just play like a certain movie or a theme in the background, so that helps me get set in the mood, like something like Lord of the Rings or typical stuff like that. So then I'll just get lost in the music, and I'll be like, all right, just figure it out that way. Yep.
So I'll ask you a specific question about one of your pages specifically, and it'll be about one that you. Well, we kind of talked about it already. That's your favorite thing, and that was the tentacles. So I want to talk about page 6. In this page, we have a sort of, I mean, traumatic event happen. We have all, essentially every single hero goes down, and we watch as Keith starts to get
yeah.
grappled up.
I can grab that page if you want me to show it real quick.
Sure, yeah, love it.
Ooh.
Is that a Kelly jersey back?
Yeah, actually, this was like my favorite page to draw too.
I see. This is even perfect. What about this page made it your favorite to draw? Like, what sort of?
I think it was just the traumatic experiences that he was watching, how his friends were dying and stuff. So I like stuff like that. This kind of brings him gives a shock to him.
Like people who suffer. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, Pinhead makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, but no, this was also a fun page to draw too.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. What sort of like looking at that page? What sort of things in other media sort of got you the idea to do what you did, or what inspired you to pick those designs for each panel?
Oh, I don't know. I think I was watching a horror movie one night, and I was reading a book called My Heart is a Chainsaw, and it was about this girl that liked slasher movies. So I was thinking about all these traumatic experiences of how all these people got killed and everything. So that kind of
yeah.
My Heart is a Chainsaw.
Well, that's a crazy name.
I finished that book. It's really good. It's a trilogy. So the second
is it
book,
like it's about like a final girl? It sounds like.
Yeah, it's about a girl that likes slashers, and she has a really tragic backstory. And one day at school, a new student shows up, and she's infatuated, or she says, "Oh, she looks like the typical final girl," whatever like that. It's really good to read. So
nice.
Yeah, it's pretty good. So there's 2 other books after it. So I just finished that one today. But
does she become the slasher then? The Heart is a Chainsaw girl?
It's got a good twist. It's not what I expected. I'm like,
okay.
Oh. Yeah. So, but yeah, it's pretty good.
Very cool. Yeah, somebody agrees with you specifically for that book, or that author. It looks like. Is it Stephen Graham Jones?
Yes, that's the one.
Yes.
Yeah, he just came up with a new one too.
Very cool.
So,
we shall move on to Jeff. Jeff, what's one or a couple of visual motifs or themes that you are using to help represent emotions in your page?
So kind of like what Swan touched on, like I plan on doing a lot of color stuff to help with emotion and kind of like time frame stuff like that, because Fizzy's kind of goes through like specific spots in time. So I wanted to kind of play with both a little bit of texture with my line. So like when we're having flashbacks, it's not going to be the exact same pen technically that I'm using. So there'll be a different texture to the flashbacks than there are to the modern day. And as well as the lighting, the colors won't be as vibrant either. So you can kind of tell it's more of a flashbacky type stuff, maybe more of a pastel-y color palette than the vibrance of the kind of like what you saw on the cover. It's very orange and purpley blue to represent kind of that the forge and stuff, because he's working in his smithy shop. So we'll kind of have that really nice contrast there, and then when we go into the flashbacks, it'll be more of a not necessarily a muddier palette, but it'll be less contrasty. It'll be more of a the values will be a little bit different on that. Every time there's a flashback, I'll also be using like these little things, kind of like we see at the bottom of this page here, like that you had mentioned, the actual cracking here is I'm going to do stuff like that for when we break with reality and go back to a flashback.
Yeah, the transition.
Right.
It's beautiful. I love it. Very beautiful. so fun. So actually, we'll stick with you, Jeff, for this next question, and we'll go back to a fun one. If this comic or your comic had a soundtrack, what is one or two songs that would be playing?
Uh, for stuff that's more like fantasy based, like I don't like the modern music and stuff is usually what I'm listening to. But and honestly, like when it's cartoony stuff, like there's certain bands that I'll listen to that they're easier to animate to. But for this kind of stuff, it's more medievally type stuff. So like Lord of the Rings type soundtracks, stuff like that.
Okay.
Is kind of what I hear in my head while I'm going. Normally, when I'm drawing cartoony stuff or animating like really bouncy cartoony stuff, I'll listen to stuff like Primus is really easy to animate to, and so is Soul Coughing. Like those are two bands that are really fun to kind of animate to.
Okay.
But like stuff like this to me is just more like that. And there's actually like one section of the flashback that's on a ship, so like there's some nautical themes that play in my head as I'm trying to do that one.
Imagine a little bit of like the soundtrack to Assassin's Creed Black Flag in the background, something like that, a little bit.
I don't play many video games because my kids play video games and I don't get to. So
You experience them like vicariously then.
Yeah.
Sure.
F
I
some
get
chat
angry.
for Jeff.
I get mad because they're all playing now.
All right. Let's jump to who would have been third. That'd be Joey. Joey, what soundtrack or songs do you think you'd hear for Rah-Rahs?
Dang, you know I'm not a music guy, brother.
Yeah, where's Carter when you need him?
Johnny Cash's
Great
cover of
question.
Hurt, maybe?
Oh,
Johnny Cash's cover of Hurt.
just 10-hour loop.
Yeah.
Just plays over and
So
over.
really, like
One
the
off.
scenario, the present scenario, right, is we've just been attacked by a basically muscle by one of the crime families in the town that we're in. And Rara has had her ribs broken in the scuffle, which we solved by buying off this man. We were not meant to win this. The DM came in with the DM stick and put us in our place.
Got too big for that.
Not because of any of us, but Kaith, let me add, who thought it necessary to kill the bandits when we were all like, "Don't do it."
I'm gonna do it. No, don't do it. I'm gonna do it.
I'm not touching you.
But she's had this routine, and I had played it through the campaign so far that every day Rara is up with the sun, and she has to work through a series of stretches to prep for the day. And she's fighting through not being able to do that, essentially. And each time she attempts another stretch, it triggers a flashback as she like re-injures her ribs. So yeah, maybe like a piano version of Hurt, as she forces herself to go through this routine.
Nice. I'll have to see if I have actually heard that song before, but I'm not sure.
Wait,
I bet
seriously?
if I play it for 2 seconds, I'll go, "Oh yeah, I know that song." But right now in my head, I'm not playing it in my head. I can't find the track.
So it was originally was 9 Inch Nails, and then Johnny Cash did a cover of it in the late 90s, I think.
But they filmed like
Yeah.
it's towards the end of his life. His wife had just died. They filmed it in his house, and there's an interview with Trent afterwards where he's like, "Yeah, no, it's his song now. It's not my song anymore."
Yeah.
Pretty wild.
I would be genuinely surprised if you hadn't ever heard it.
I'm actually looking it up right now. While I'm looking it up, oh, I see it. I think I know it. I'll hear it in a second. Well, we can move on to the next person. Swan, what soundtrack or songs would be playing during Mosses?
I mean, I feel like any of the bardcore uh medieval takes on current pop music, that feels very correct. And there's a group called 2WEI, 2A, I don't know. But they did Warriors for League of Legends. The big like
Oh, okay,
Yes.
yeah.
but they're like
Oh, yeah.
super haunting. They have an amazing like slowed down epic version of Toxic by Britney Spears that I really love, but it's this
Okay.
super like ambiance and slow and creepy, but it's
Again,
that
What's
it's
that name again? Sorry.
2WEI.
2WEI.
What I like about it is it's slow, it's creepy, it's haunting, but then there's that moment of like, wait, I know this song that comes from it. So there's kind of that still little prick of hope.
That little pop.
Yeah.
Because you know
They
what
made
it is.
music for Rainbow Six? No way.
They're just the video game group. That's cool.
Hey man, if they're gonna pay you,
Yeah.
Mhm.
Is this an
Joe?
entire cover album?
What about you? What songs or soundtrack would play during Kate's?
I've been listening to Tool because I like that tribal sound.
nice,
they have,
yeah,
those
dude.
punk instrumentals, and it kind of sets the mood for what I'm drawing for this character. So, especially when he gets pulled with those tendrils, I kind of
Yep, yep. I knew exactly what you were gonna say.
So,
There's some
yeah.
Tool tendrils if I've ever seen any.
Right.
Well, I have a question for David. So, David, you famously play Fizzywick Fizzy Fizzbang on the D&D live playground in WikiFace.
Yeah.
Oh, that's true. All
Oh,
those
yes,
statements
yes.
are true.
Yes. Here's a question I'd like to ask you, and I'd love to hear your answer as David and your answer as Fizzy. And the question here is,
Wait, do I get to do one of
This-
these two?
yeah, but David goes first. Man, this guy just wants all the spotlight.
No, we didn't roll for initiative, Hunter. We don't
Yeah,
know.
that's true.
Right?
I didn't know.
Right.
I didn't know we were in a role playing
In a-
encounter.
In
Oh,
a
yeah.
combat session.
Yeah.
I feel like it's a combat session as soon as we hit go live.
Every time. Roll for initiative before we even started.
Hunter, it didn't work. I
So-
tried to roll out 1d20. It didn't work.
Oh, see. So, David, ever since Fizzy had these flashbacks when he was working
Yeah.
on Obi and creating our big buddy, the thing that was supposed to protect his friends and make you more useful and protective and keep everybody safe because of literally just getting your butts handed to you by Creed the Ironclad, and it was a pretty tough situation. Since that moment, since being on the back of the wagon with Ra Ra and the two of you looking over the designs together and going through creating Obi, to now where we are almost 30-something sessions, no, 20-something sessions later,
That's insane.
how has Fizzy changed since that, or how has that flashback and that moment altered Fizzy up to this moment?
So I mean, so altering Fizzy up to this moment, I guess, is he wasn't really expecting Fizzy to hit a lot. He's more of the defense thing with his reflect.
OB. Yeah.
Yeah, Obi can't hit worth a shit. And I see it too, which is why both me as myself and Fizzy want to find ways to upgrade Obi more. So I don't want to say more than what he gets in the when we actually level up, but like I would like to find some cool things or invent some cool things for Obi. And Fizzy would want that too. Whether it be more of those special cogs or like, hey, let's try putting a flamethrower on his arm.
I think flamethrowers are out, man. Deck save. He's guaranteed to at least hit a little bit.
Yeah, that's true. What was the first part of that question? I don't remember. Sorry.
That's okay. Essentially, since having that moment where Fizzy goes through this determination of trying to find a way, because essentially the idea is, Fizzy has buckled down to create Obi and transform into, leveling up. Essentially, was what was happening, but it was more than just that. It's Fizzy had made this decision of, after making every other invention and the Earthshaker cannon and creating things that mostly just did harm, creating something that protected. And when thinking about creating something that protects, the only things going through your mind at the moment were every time you failed. Like, you blew up the workshop, your brother gets hurt. I mean, you only thought of those times where it didn't go right. And now that Obi has been created and you are where you are and you've gone through the adventures you have, how do you think Fizzy maybe looks back on those and how that has changed Fizzy? And then also David.
Yeah. So, it has definitely changed Fizzy, mostly because that was only the second real time he's ever gotten hurt. Hurt. It mostly was like his brother or Grizzles or, but like, so his new family pretty much, like everybody got really hurt, and Fizzy kind of imagined that as if like him and his brothers all got really hurt at the same time. And so now he wants to do more things to protect than to cause harm, because he is pretty much been at the brunt of a living Earthshaker cannon that wasn't his Earthshaker cannon. Like like if I were to get beat up by Brock Lesnar,
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a very good comparison. Like, it's a pro wrestler just coming in and demolishing us.
Yeah. And so that also kind of evolved me, because I was fully meant to go like, let's make Fizzy want to blow up everything, and then everybody almost died. And I'm like, well, if this is what the kind of shit Hunter's gonna throw at us, like, what else can Fizzy do? I was like, oh, he can reflect. Guess what? He goes to attack, like super anime deflect moment.
No more explosions,
And,
only shields.
The fact that Fizzy is an inventor means that with Obi, with pretty much your permission and us figuring it out, like, have some sort of actual creativity on ways that I can have Fizzy upgrade Obi to better help his friends, his new family.
Yeah. Recently in game, we actually visited your hometown, your home city, I guess we should call it.
That good old Sebras.
Good old
Sebras.
Your summer. Sebras. And the party met your family, and you got to see your family again for the
They're
first
all
time.
very nice, very wholesome.
For the first time in quite some time. It had been many years since you had seen your family again, and you all had went to Sebras to see them again. And how was it seeing them? How did Fizzy feel sort of coming home and seeing how life has been for them?
Fizzy was hopeful. He was a little excited to see his brothers again. And he was hopeful that with Obi there, he would kind of get some of his own recognition for him and not just him being a fizzbang.
Very nice.
Like, because, everybody knows everything that my family is made for inventing. And like, I don't see no other automatons.
Yeah,
Ain't no other Obies.
Fizzy, the only one out here making robots.
I do
Right.
like the aspect of Fizzy's character that he is very much like someone that has to live in the shadow of someone that came before them and really like defined an industry.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's
Like they
it's an
help with
interesting
the
dynamic, like how he has to deal with that.
yeah, because like he's a fizz bang. Everybody knows the fizz bangs.
Yeah. Which was really evident when we went to Sebres. I mean, you guys have been in Tapas for a while, and then once you got to Sebres, even before you landed on the pier, people were like, "Oh my gosh, it's Fizzy!" And
Yeah,
the
like
Yeah.
we
crowd
How
were
the hell
coming
did they
in
know
on-
I was coming home?
just one person spotted you. That's all it takes with a fizz bang.
Oh
Yeah.
my god.
It's like seeing a
I
Hemsworth.
should have
you know,
cased it up.
Caped it up. But wonderful. So let's move over to Joey now, who is one of the other players.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I would like to ask you the same thing, Joey, and that is that as Rara and as Joey, ever since this moment when you were beaten by Creed and woke up the next morning and your stretches and seeing these flashbacks of a time when you had to be perfect and what you went through as a child. How has since that moment to now, how has Rara changed, and how do you think and how do you feel that she looks back on these today?
I think really in the Sebres arc, the Sebres, sorry,
Thank you. Thank you.
Sebres arc.
Get it right. Thank you.
Uh, there was a big change in like how she approached things, because if you remember in like the Tapas Festival part of the campaign, she was like, "This has to be perfect. This is my opportunity," and then she bombed it. Well, at least in her mind, she bombed it, and it really like crushed her for a little while. Um, she sort of, as the campaign has progressed, been able to let go of that a little bit around the people that she trusts the most. And she's been able to sort of relax a little bit and just perform. Because that was all very improv. Like at the moment after we had done the jailbreak and we went out, and she was like, "Don't sweat it, I got this." And she went out to work the crowd. She has she sort of let go of that. I have to be perfect every time. I just have to be good enough for the people around me. And I think that there was a little bit, like, to be fair, the Sebres performance
Mm-hmm. That was
went a
quite
little
the
better to start.
Uh-huh. Yeah. Yeah. Certainly did.
As she was getting her summer.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Yep.
I have to do
So
myself.
I'll have a little laugh. I see. I see.
But no, I feel like she's grown from that moment. Like that was probably around her lowest point in the campaign. But honestly, like that happened, and then the Tempest Fair happened immediately after.
Mhm.
So like there was no point lower, and like I know Keith and Moss were both basically like, okay, it was fine. You did a dance, it was good. For Rara, she was fucking spiraling.
Yeah. Having to have to be perfect all the time, something like that really. I mean, as we went through it in game, Rara certainly spiraled pretty hard. drink after drink, yelling, not wanting to talk to anybody. It was tough. And of course, right after having these flashbacks and these memories just sort of piled on. Not a good time for Rara.
And really, like, at the same time, too, it was like she didn't feel more distant from the party any other time in the throughout the story so far, because they couldn't relate. Like, they were like, it was fine, but for years she had been drilled that if you fuck up, it's not fine. And even the smallest misstep is a mistake that will ruin an entire show. So at that point, she was literally at her lowest.
Yeah.
And it's taken a while for her to be like, okay, I can actually trust these guys. Like, they're not being two-faced. Like, they legitimately thought that was good enough.
Yeah.
Even though I think there's still a part of her that's like, it's not good enough.
So, now we're going to start getting into the deep stuff. Okay. So here's the first question as we move into this.
Well, what was David going to say? You cut him off. You're very.
I did cut off David. I barely heard him. I wasn't sure.
No, it's okay. I just am actually excited for the closer it gets for us to do Rara's mission. I feel like Fizzy will be able to help her open up, because coming from inventors, like, yeah, you fuck up, it happens. Like, you just move on and do better. And knowing the pressures put on you. I mean, obviously not in the same way, but I feel that might be a very, very nice turning point for Fizzy and Rara's relationship.
To add on top of that, David, what I'm really, really, really hoping for, and maybe it'll be the first time I'm ever actually able to make this happen, because as a DM, for the longest time since I've started being a DM, I have always wanted to be able to turn a session or two into a musical, and I'm hoping that when we do Ra-Ra's loyalty missions and we go to her hometown, that there will be moments where she breaks into song or other people break into song in a very Disney-esque way to tell her story. I want to make it happen for that. I've always wanted to try and put a musical into the game, but it's difficult because it's like I'd have to pre-write it, and somehow I'd have to line up exactly when a moment happens.
Guys, if you're not watching the O&D D&D campaign, Hunter is over here trying to write a musical. So get in the chat.
I've always wanted to try and find a way to put a musical into the session, and it's like I want the players to do it, but I can't force you to sing, and none of you will. I don't think any of you will just burst into song in any way, which, I mean, if anyone was, it would be Ra-Ra. But, like, I have to write NPCs that might, break out into song. And then I'm singing in the middle of a session. And then it's like I try and have a call and response. And it's like, if you don't respond in song, then it, doesn't keep going. But I would love to see something like that. When we get
you could, like, if you know how you want things to go, you could send us, like, prompts. Like, hey, your prompt would be if something is happening that involves, like...
I could just more or less be like, guys, I'm really hoping to make this into a musical. Have that in the back of your heads. If you feel inspired, jump with it. If you don't, jump with it.
I wish I was more musically inclined down there.
But that's okay. All right. Let's get into the deeper question here.
Wait, pause.
As a DM,
we have a save your work and a hydrate yourself.
Whoa!
I don't have a drink to hydrate
myself.
Can I hydrate with gummy bear?
Tequila.
I'm hydrating with beer, so.
I'm hydrating with vodka.
Hey.
Yay! We're so good at this.
And then I'm going to do a Control S.
Everybody just keeps.
Wait, I want to see your gummy bears, Hunter. You didn't cheers
Oh.
or gummy bears.
Yeah, are they sugar free?
Ah,
would
they're not
never.
the sugar free.
I would
Coward.
never.
Don't eat a whole bag.
No, in the
Coward.
toilet forever. Okay. let's get into this. So, as a DM, when we create these dream sequences or flashbacks for a character, usually they have a bigger meaning, or they're there to represent the transformation of something, or the foreshadow of something, or reach out to the player in game to maybe guide them in a certain way or to teach them a lesson somehow. So a lot of stuff goes into making these kinds of things. What I'm going to ask you guys is, with working on your comic and knowing it all the way through, reading it multiple 100 times, I'm sure, what do you feel is either the moral of the story trying to be told or the message trying to be given? What do you feel this story is trying to say or tell to the audience? And we can start with whoever wants to start.
Well, I'll say that you're good enough. That's
yes.
rough.
Could you elaborate? We'd
Nope,
like to
he's
listen.
good enough.
Elaborate and listen.
You're never gonna feel like you're good enough, especially if you're an artist. You're gonna look at what you create, and you're gonna be like, "This is dog shit." But there has to be a part of you deep down that knows that even though you feel that, general audiences, rated G, are going to look at it and be like, oh, this is cool. And no matter how much pressure you get from instructors who tell you, oh, you're not suited for animation, why don't you switch to illustration? Or...
A lot of real life for Joey on
my
this one.
my AI guys know who I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Our fun little fantasy game that we play.
Or I've redrawn this 7 times and it's not how I like it. Maybe the 5th time was good enough. And that's sort of Rara's story. Like, she has very much been put into this mold where, like, this is what you're going to do. You're going to be the best at it. You're not going to embarrass me. You're going to be perfect. No one's ever perfect. There's always a flaw in the matrix. That's why AI art is not real art, because a human has to create it and a human is flawed. So be good enough. You don't have to be the best.
Very, very close to the chest on that one, huh? Very personal.
Hey man, every character I play is a part of me, so if you don't like
That's
it,
the best characters. I love it.
Also, that your character's inspo, her training people, also from Pittsburgh. So,
Wow.
yeah, there's a bit of that in my backstory. So. If you're curious of what life at AIP was like, tune in.
Yeah, and Abby Lee Miller, they were also a Pittsburgh staple.
No, weird. Can you imagine?
I cannot.
I was drawing her for page 3, and Hunter was like, "Oh my god, she's so ugly," and I was like,
Oh man.
It's so
I actually
Fantasy.
do have that page. There she is. She's a half orc.
Oh my god. It's all fun little fantasy. Why am I drawing in the wrong layer?
Joe, were you about to say something?
Yeah, I was just gonna say it's so weird how we're all from AIP, but we didn't meet till like later in life.
That is crazy.
Until coming back to our local area.
Yeah,
which
exactly.
I think is yeah. Yeah. Well, and I think we've talked about this before, but our our overlap, like we either just miss each other or we overlap when like somebody's already well past or just starting and everything. So yeah,
Right. It's almost like a D&D campaign.
it
Oh.
is.
It's all connected.
All connected.
The lines. Who would like to go next?
Oh, me.
You? Okay.
Yeah.
Swan.
You
Need
need
the question
to...
again, or
No.
no?
I
Oh,
don't-
okay.
If you would like to repeat it for the audience, I know what I was going to answer though.
You're right. My bad. I should do that. You are right. For people who just tuned in, yes.
Yeah, I ranted for a long drunken time. So.
Oh man. For your story, for your character that you are doing, what do you believe this nightmare is trying? What's the moral of the story? What is it trying to convey to audiences, or what are you hoping it will convey to audiences?
You can believe in the power and the strength that you have inside of you, even if you're unsure of it, and in accepting that power and opening that up, you also open yourself up to letting other people in and letting other people help you.
Oh. Why is something like that important for people to know?
Oh.
Oh man. Now you're making me answer questions.
Beans.
Follow-ups.
I think, like Joey was saying, along the sense of being an artist, at a certain point, even if you are not fully confident in the art you're making, you have to be confident enough to put it out there in the world. And there is nothing wrong with art, whether it's comic art, whether it's dance, whether it's music. There's nothing wrong with that just being a fun hobby. So something you keep in your house or in your sketchbook or something like that. But if this is something that's really important to you, at a certain point, you have to have enough self-confidence and enough self-faith to put it out into the world, even knowing it's not perfect, even knowing that you'll grow and you'll change and you'll look back on your previous stuff and not like it as much. But you have to have that inner belief in your strengths and your talents, that the story that you're telling, the art that you're making is worthwhile and valid in the world, no matter what you think of it, but that it needs to be out there. And that in showing that and showing that excitement that you have for it, you will then find an amazing community of other people who want to share the art with you.
Can anyone else hear the crack of a bat and that baseball go all the way?
It's my goal to win question night. That's my...
Yeah, we have a who answers best questions
Yeah.
round. We're ready to gonna mail it out. Oh, wonderful. Joe or Jeff, are either of you ready?
Yeah, I'm ready.
Yeah, go ahead, Joe.
Yep. All right. So I don't know a lot about the characters, but from what I interpret from the story I got, it seems like Caleb, he's got this guilt trip where he failed his friends, and when he has that dream where he watches them die, it seems like he gets a second chance when he finds this knife, and then when he gets it, it's almost like life's telling him you get a second chance, and in the end, your friends are gonna always be there to have your back. So that's basically what I get out of it.
Yeah, I mean, it's pretty close. It's definitely, yeah, like what a with how you've interpreted it and how you see it. How do you hope audiences will take that message? How do you think? Why is that important for them to know?
It's okay to fail. It's all right to screw up, because that's how you learn in life. You learn by mistakes. You can't be perfect the first time, so you learn from your mistake and you can be better at it the second time. That's how you grow as a human.
Yeah.
Or as an elf.
Yeah, for someone who lives 250 years.
Right?
Yeah.
Well, if you're 250 years old, you if you're still failing, there's something wrong with you.
Well, there might be something wrong with you.
Right?
Yeah, come on, Carter, get it together.
What's the
Oh.
famous Moss quote, Hunter?
Oh my gosh, which one? There's a lot.
Half elf, half bad.
Oh yeah, she's only half elf. She's only half bad.
Aw.
Half bad. That's how she sees it.
So Hunter's done a really interesting thing, and I'm gonna shout out the DM here a little bit.
Oh, a hijack, a heckin' bamboozle.
Yeah, a heckin' bamboozle.
Wait,
here.
we can make Hunter big. Yeah.
Ah, what
So-
happened?
Now,
Some
oh, no.
train robbers took over this hype train.
In 100% of fantasy fiction, elves are always portrayed as the wise race of the world that has like the caretakers of nature, the nurturers of the planet. These are the guys who are like, hey, we've been here forever. We're doing this great thing. Like, you know, you humans are new. We don't really like you because you're kind of, you know, you're greedy and you're sort of fucky and you get around to your shenanigans. Hunter has flipped that. He subverted the expectations.
Oh.
And the elves are essentially they're not good. They're not good. They're the empire. They're the conquerors. They're the ones that went out and they're like, it's our divine right to take everything and control everything because we are the superior beings here in Corelthia. And then they sort of, you know, they got a little bit of a bitch slap. They got put in their place, and they're very much on their redemption tour now. So I will say it was a nice subversion where the elves aren't like, we can be haughty toddy and look down our nose at the humans because we are the people who control things here in the land and protect everything. Hunter's elves are very much the we're the guys that are looking for the ark, and if you're not here, the movie will take care of itself anyway.
I did just literally watch Last Crusade yesterday while I was working, and I had that feeling of just like, oh yeah, like I mean it's important like at the very very end, but up until that point, you really didn't need them.
Yep.
Like,
Yep.
I mean, to be fair, like Sean Connery does a lot of work that helps them, and so you know that part. But there's a lot of it where I was like, you kind of were just set dressing, but I'm okay. Like you're beautiful set dressing, and I love that.
No ticket.
Well, thank you, Joey, for calling me out. And you know, you have been saying lately, that's been the theme of conversation lately, is that you guys have said I've been subverting expectations. So I feel like now I have to make expectations so that I can subvert those expectations that are subverted of the expectation that was expected.
Mm-hmm.
Very confusing. But no, thank you for that. I will say when man, how can I talk about this without like giving plot points away?
Whoa. No spoilers.
Coralthia has a very long and rich history. And if you've watched the lore video, it tells you a lot about it. No, in real honesty though, no, the Coralthia has a very long and rich history, and it's funny that you know you sort of bring up the fact that like in most fantasy, like elves are sort of like the first people, the wise people, the protectors. The we've been here forever. You're you know you've only been here for 20 years. You know whatever it is. You know, and to sort of maybe explain a little bit more on sort of how what you've said is when Coralthia first began, and the first written history is about 2,000 years ago, maybe plus or minus a little bit or whatever, but it's about 2,000 years ago, and that's when we first had our first written history, and that's because an elven wizard or mage at the time discovered an old ancient tablet from what they call now the Aqua Edo era. And at first, the elves may have actually had that sort of mentality of, we've been here a very long time. I mean, there wasn't really humans yet at that point. I mean, there was, but they weren't in any way like an intelligent species, I guess you could call them at that point. Like they were more like in Neanderthal state, essentially, I would say at that point. But as the elves found this and continued to search for them, they got that real power's always worth it mentality.
Hell yeah.
And
dude. That was my last character.
And began to grow more in a way of, as other people started to discover things like, excuse me, you have no right to that. We have been here the longest. We're the civilization. We're the society who deserves to have these artifacts from the Akwa Ado, the people who came before us, the time before time. That is ours to have. And you're right. They became more and more this evil and villainous people than the protectors, like they usually are portrayed in fantasy. And I definitely I wanted to have a feeling of something different in a fantasy world, because it's hard to make a world where everyone's not just like, oh, it's Lord of the Rings, you know, and you get that all the time for people who don't really know what D&D is. They're like, oh, like Lord of the Rings. I mean, yeah, you know what fantasy is. Good job. But there are more stories than just Tolkien out there. And yeah, so I'm really glad that sort of message has come across so well. I don't even know where I was getting at for that, but I don't even know what that spawned. Oh, you took over. That's why you got me off track, because you took over. If anybody has questions about the world, please ask. I'm here to talk my head off.
Surprise bank robber! I'm actually really.
You have
intrigued.
a question?
Yes.
Oh,
I do. So,
okay.
How do you come up with all of this lore? Like, how did you come up with what you wanted the first Corral
Because
Theater?
David is also a DM.
How did you? What, like, it can be like a simplified version, but I would really like to know, like, how you came up with the lore that you wanted to tell and the story that you wanted to tell, and then came up with a story from that to be in your first game to then continue into this game.
All right. Everyone's about to hear the great backstory lore of the world. And actually, I feel like this question may not have actually ever come up, really, or at least been asked in the way you just asked. So obviously, there's a lot going on with the question you just asked, and
Yes,
I think how I'd like to start it, is the question's almost like, why I almost compared myself to God. Hold on. I shouldn't have done that. Hold on.
Calm down. Guys, everyone focus over here.
Whoa.
I'm drawing a foot right now.
Oh,
Nice,
wait, hang
nice.
on. Let's get that big.
Oh, for free?
Yeah.
Whoa.
Calm down. There's a foot over here. You don't have to listen to Hunter.
free feet pics, people. Free feet pics.
Oh, talking about it, if you head over to Linktree, linktr.ee/older and dumber, there's a link to the Patreon if you'd like to get more feet pics. That is an option.
Yes, it is.
I've literally posted feet pics before, so.
Nice. I like that doesn't specify whether it's your own or if it's drawn, and I like
No, they
that.
were my feet.
They were.
I'll specify it right now. They were my feet.
I got an unsolicited foot pic the other day.
Oh,
Ooh.
from Joey?
And then from one of my coworkers because he dropped an entire keg of beer on it.
Oh, no.
Oh,
That's an
awful.
unfortunate foot pic.
It's fine. It did nothing broke. It just got really bruised.
That's almost worse. The bruises. Oh, see, when I dropped a full case of wine, I had the good sense to just drop it on the floor and let it smash and not have it land on me.
You should cut it with your foot and then posted the
Oh,
pics.
I should have. This is why you're more successful in that market than I am. Always thinking bigger picture. Yeah, what was the question, Hunter?
Yes. So, all right. So how do I sort of come up with all this lore, and how did I get together like the story I wanted to tell into the first campaign, and how we sort of are where we are. Essentially, like why did I want to make
Because this is
evil,
long
right?
running. This is since COVID.
Yes,
Yeah.
this is since COVID. This world has been created for a long time now. So before Coralthia, there was a world called Balustrade that I had made, and I had made this world quickly. It wasn't like I sort of looked at a map and then just kind of decided on like capitals I wanted, and then I was like, this race lives here, this race lives here, this race lives here, and then I was like, what's a big bad I want? And then I just picked a big bad, and then sort of did an improv like sort of start to it, and I knew that I wanted to have all the heroes come together being called somewhere, and then we just sort of ran with it, and that was Valestrad. And as we finished Balustrade, and well, never really. It actually kind of ended on a cliffhanger. Like we don't quite
As
know.
most D&D campaigns.
Sometimes do, yes. But as I set out to create Coralthia, I told myself I didn't want to make a Avengers Endgame level threat. Because as I found out from the first campaign I made, it draws so much attention to something that it felt like it took away the emotions of characters and the story that we were all telling together, and it felt more like people were just following the story I was trying to tell. So I didn't love that. So as I set out to create Coralthia, I wanted to build more of a world that lived on its own, something that could eat, drink, sleep, poop, all without me having to do anything. And how I sort of started that was deciding first how big I wanted something. And I knew I wanted a large continent, nothing that didn't have enough to put like the potential mystery that there's more places out there than Coralthia, but not enough, but enough less mystery to think maybe this is the only thing that exists here. You know, it's I wanted to make sure it was sort of confined to its own thing. But instead of random rolling for, you know, all kinds of stuff, or creating the map by throwing some dice on a piece of paper, which is actually kind of fun. I've done that before too. With Coralthia, I created a one-shot. I told my friends, I said, hey, guys, I know we're gonna do a new campaign here soon, but before we do that, I wanna run a one-shot. And they're like, oh, really? I'm like, yeah, it's gonna be really simple. It's gonna be kind of dumb. You're all just gonna play like just make whatever kind of character you want, and we're gonna walk around a world that's completely undeveloped, and you're just gonna survive and see what happens. And unannounced to them, what I was doing is I was having them all create characters in a what I essentially deemed as like a non-existent non-canon world, where I just put moral dilemmas out in front of them and allowed them to interact with things in any way they wanted, and how they responded to those things, or the actions they took, or the ways that they touched or affected the world, is what I used to create the lore of Coralthia. So, as an example, and I don't think I've ever told this to anybody, so now that we're here, like Joey's going to hear for the first time, realizing like, wait a second, why? So during this one shot, one of the players, they decided they wanted to create these random mounds in the world that had what are called glyph of warding on them, so that if anyone ever got close to them, it would trigger some kind of magical phenomenon, whether it's an explosion or it was like a paralyze or whatever it was. But they just put these throughout the world. They were like, I'm just going to do this every 2 miles or something, or whatever it is. And that made me decide how I wanted to create a sort of underlying ley line of magical energy throughout Coralthia, and how there are specific races called Warforged that connect to that ley line magic, but didn't ever come to fruition until finally 3 people in Roram, 3 inventors essentially decided to create them, and every single Warforged. This hasn't really come up, so now it's going to come up, and maybe we'll look out for
Wow,
it.
you're ruining everything, Hunter.
Every single Warforged that's ever been made, they have a glyph on them somewhere that one affects what kind of person they're going to be, and affects what magic that they are more drawn to or inclined to either be attracted to, resistant to, master of, whatever it is. And that's because the effect of this ley line magic that was created by this player in a one-shot affected the minds of whoever created that Warforged, and sort of through a osmosis of energy creates an imprint on every single Warforged. So I decided to do that because it created a sort of, like the person intended, a random magical cacophony of something to happen. And as random as he wanted to be, I created something even more fantastic off of it.
Did you create actual ley lines on the map?
You'll never know.
Boom.
All right.
Maybe someday, but as of today, you will never know.
And my character in
And,
the home game was like, I want to take some of your recipes and cook them for my crew. And this guy was like, nah, I'm too cool. I'm a Warforged. Tell him that story, Hunter.
That's nothing to do with it.
Tell him that story.
Joey's character made a Warforged in our home game that is a chef, and his whole thing in life is to create recipes that are tasty and that people will love, except he doesn't ever want to give away those recipes because he believes he's making them for the Steel Mother, and that if you were to ever give them away, it'd be like giving away a piece of her, where instead he needs to make them to give happiness to others through the Steel Mother. And if he were to give the recipes away, he would no longer have the power to make people happy. So he wouldn't give Gelatina any recipes because of that.
Racist to me.
I don't think
So
so.
I'm saying we got to keep the recipes for the Warforged.
I hope that answered your question. I know you also asked, how did I think about what went into the first campaign and why I chose that storyline? And
yeah,
I didn't really get onto that, but most of just how the world came to be came off of a random one shot.
And also kind of tied in, how did the players' actions affect what you wanted to happen? How did they affect the happening?
How did the happening affect the happening of the happening?
Yes.
Are you asking how did other actions player took in the one shot affect the world, or players in campaign one?
In campaign one. How? Because I know you got what you wanted, and then you did campaign one, and you wanted to tell the story for campaign one.
Yes.
How did the player randomness affect you getting to the end?
You make plans and God laughs. That's what I have to say. No. So the biggest thing about D&D is it's a collaborative storytelling game, right? Like,
yes.
I make the world, and I have a story I want to tell, but in the end, we're all telling a story together. It's my job to facilitate something where we're all going to enjoy a shared experience together that may help us feel something emotionally, or get over something in our lives, or deal with something, or just to get away from the world, and whatever it is.
Sometimes your fellow players are like, you're not welcome here anymore.
Sometimes that happens. But when it comes to creating the story I wanted, or the story I wanted to tell, the biggest thing is about being flexible. And your question being, how did their actions affect the story? It affected it in the most meaningful and impactful ways you could ever think of. Because I always will have something in mind, but because of the people I'm so fortunate to play with, they will completely open a scene up, or open a dialogue up that just completely changes the way I looked at something, and will honestly affect. So I think the best way to look at this is from the original concept I had at the start of campaign 1 to the end of campaign 1. I knew that I had a
Roscoe
secret
was a bear.
I knew that I had a secret organization that was created by in the Elven territory. Like, this is where the whole, elves are evil thing started, was campaign 1. Well, when it all came to light, really. But I knew I had a secret organization based out of the Elven region that was trying to take over all territories, but was thwarted by the human empire. I knew that. I knew I wanted that. But as we continued on, it moved from just being a secret organization to becoming something a lot more supernatural, which became vampires and monsters and an intricate woven tale through like a bit of extra terrestrial forces and demonic forces. And that's all because of the characters and their backstories and just how they sort of affected every decision I was about to make. Yeah, I mean, that's kind of, I hope that helped. I hope that answered the question.
Yes. I'll also, the next time I see you, I want to delve further into that.
Oh, wonderful. Wonderful. I see there are some people asking about Bosco the Bear in the chat. Yes, Bosco the Bear. Ayo.
Oh, Hunter.
So
we also can switch to our outros if you want to leave that hanging for another time. That can be the come back and see us.
Yes.
That's up to
Bosco
you.
the Bear. No, yeah, we don't have to talk about Bosco the Bear. Joey really wants to, but we don't have to do that.
Oh my god, this coward.
The exit gate of the hype train opened early.
I did want to ask the artists one last question before we end it, if that's okay with everybody.
I can't believe it's 11 o'clock already.
It's close.
I've done nothing.
That's not true. I watched you do things. You drew feet.
I drew a heel.
So this is what I want. This is the last question I want to ask for each of the artists, and the question is, how much of the reference material, made it into what you did? And obviously, the easy answer is, it's the character. I drew the character. But I think that what I'm mostly trying to ask is the live play itself. Each of you got a clip of the moment happening in real time. How, if at all, did that clip help guide what you were doing? How much of that reference material did you use or not use to help create what you were doing?
Make Joe go first.
Joe?
Me? Joey.
You have been offered a sacrifice.
Right on. Honestly, I try to incorporate as much of the reference material that you guys supply me with. In all honesty, I didn't watch any clip.
Oh,
I did listen
Kate's
to
Nightmare was so fun to read. It felt like I was a poet.
But I did read I mean, like I said, I read the script and everything, and I used all the source material for like the visuals and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. But like I said, I try to incorporate what was given to me so that it was true to the nature of the character and the story and the visuals and everything. So, yeah.
Nice.
Mm-hmm.
Cool. I will say, Joe, specifically, me and you had talked a little bit early on, specifically about like the what sort of attire he had in the beginning before making it there, and you got to learn a little bit about Elven lore, if you remember.
I'm a scholar in Elfish now.
Yeah.
Hell yeah, dude.
Do you remember the little bit of lore that you got? Do you remember it?
He drew an archaeologist and he became an archaeologist.
I did.
Oh, like Doctor Who.
Pretty much. Yep.
Yes, no. Do you remember?
I have it written down somewhere. It's in my notes.
Well, it was that because in your first, oh goodness, second page,
Mm-hmm.
nope, second page, we see a short-haired cake
Yeah.
because for elven culture with
Because
them in
like
the
they were,
military.
the longer the hair was, the higher up they were.
Correct, you got it. That's it. That's the
I
lore.
remember.
So that is interpreted here on the second page. And when you made this,
Mm-hmm.
like I know we were all like, "Holy shit, Joe, you're awesome. This is so great." But the thing that made me feel the most heard and the most like excited was that you knew that that's what like you instantly short haired cake. Like you knew the reference they had long hair, but like
Mm-hmm.
it was there. It's shown with the military and the other like just it made me really happy to see.
Right.
So
Mhm.
thank you.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. So wonderful. Swan or Joey? It's so difficult. I either have to say Holly or I gotta say Joe, and I gotta say Joey. It's
What am I answering?
well, you don't. You get to go last. You are the reference material.
You're it. You are it.
You are it.
So reference wise, it was kind of fun because we had done some older and Doodle streams before this. I had gotten a chance to draw Moss before, and I had looked at a bunch of the reference before that. I will admit, I was going into it. I was totally certain that I was going to watch the clip and sit with that while I had read through and everything, and take a lot of my beats off of that. It ended up not being that.
No one watched the clips on her.
No, I did. I just didn't do it first. And I think it's because there was genuinely a part of me where I wanted to feel out the story in just how it read to me and where I felt the artistic like pauses and beats were and the moments I really wanted to hit hard with that. Before I got too far into it, past the point of having to just redraw the whole thing, I did go and watch the clip and kind of, because I was like, oh shit, if this is really, really different than how it played out in the show, like, I won't feel great about that. I'm still proud of the story I'm telling, but if it doesn't tonally match, if it doesn't feel like the clip feels, then that's not great. So I did watch it later, but I was fully convinced going into it that I was going to use that much earlier on than I ended up doing. But it's fun. It's a funny thing to have little snippets of the characters and the character's personality that I know from it, but so much reference to also kind of help visually just tie into that, like how they emote, how they move around, and all of that stuff. And then a whole bunch of costumes I don't get to draw yet. But no, it's funny because I think, unlike other comics that I have done previous to this point, I have always been the character designer for it. So I'm spending more time going back to the reference, making sure that I am keeping the characters consistent and keeping their costuming consistent so that it matches the model sheet. So that's definitely, it's been a fun, like, oh, I'm so happy I have this stuff that I can just pull up on multiple windows and look back on, because if not, then I don't remember it all. I have to keep looking at it.
So, Joey, the reference material. How do you answer this question?
What's the question again?
How much of the reference material did you use to create your story, and how did it affect what you're doing?
I've expanded it.
Okay.
Yeah, there was no dialogue before. Now there's definitely dialogue.
Okay.
I think the beats play out the same, but like I feel like I continually am in a position where I'm like, I had a picture of this. It was going to be this amount. I had it thumbnailed out. Now I don't feel like I can do that anymore. I have a better idea. And it goes back to what I was saying. Like I'm the first one to do an artist spotlight, but it was you have very clear the vision in your head, especially for me, having played the character like and playing these scenes out. Like I knew what they wanted, what I wanted them to look like. And as I've started to transform them into a visual medium, I'm like, well, this could be better if I did this. This doesn't work. I thought this would work, but it doesn't.
Mhm.
So it's definitely been a lot of push and pull as I've worked through.
Yeah.
And I will say, as like an artist, especially from a player perspective, I have super clear visions in my head
Mhm.
of the story.
Yeah.
And that doesn't always necessarily translate the way I want to the page. So it has been a lot of killing my darlings.
Mhm.
But I think that as I change and modify and cut things out and add new things, it's definitely improving visually overall as a comic format.
Yeah, definitely. Well, everybody, that is all the time we have for tonight. We are going to finish out with our outros. And of course, one last big shout out of our Kickstarter, Corelthia, Waking Nightmares, and Forgotten Fates is out on Kickstarter right now. It is still going. We have 15 more days left. Please, we are so close. We're at 75%. We're almost there. Help us back. Get the word out. Pledge more. Whatever you want to do. Everything helps. So please help us get there to make it so that all of their work means something.
Well, I don't like it when you say it like that.
Yeah, it was bad, brother.
It was supposed to be. It wasn't supposed to be. I'm trying to laugh. Anyway, you guys have been awesome. Thank you much for joining us. And as we close out, let me go ahead and yell out our guests here who are here today, here, there on screen.
Mhm.
We'll start with to my right, but the screen's left, I think. We have a swan named Emily Swan, Emily Swan. The amazing artist behind Moss Graywind's story. You can find her all over the internet at a swan named Emily. Said just like that, like a tribe named Quest. And of course, we also have Joey Schichtel, or as most people know him as Slooty Mage, all over the internet with League Speak. So if you know how that, if you know how that works, then you'll know how to spell it. If you don't, well, I'm sure if you still type in Slooty Mage, you'll probably find it.
Hieroglyphs of an old time.
Yes. And of course, our other artists, we have Joe Holly. Yeah, everybody show off their work while I'm saying your names. That would be.
Not yet finished. Almost done.
Oh, look at that shit. Damn.
Oh, hell yeah.
I love it. Joe Holly is an amazing artist. He is the artist behind Pretty and Timber Wolves, and all over the internet, he is Joe Holly 1977. Find him where you use the webs. And he did have to leave early, but of course we have Jeff Munn, who is doing Fizzy, an amazing artist and animator. You can find him all over the internet at Pocket Science or G Money, I believe, in other places, and also Jeff Munn in other places. But you can find him on the internet at those places by those names on the webs.
Those are true.
And of course, we had great player, the Mr. Fizzbang, Fizzywick, Fizzy Fizzbang himself, David.
Thank you for
And
having me.
you can find him on the internet at League Speak, Devil David 215.
Hey! Hype train!
And you can jump on the hype train. And of course,
Darn
there was
tootin'.
me, your MC, your knower of questions, your doer of talker points, your messer up of words, and your lover of art, Hunter, voice of Hunter Taylor.
Boy, I really wasn't sure what was going to come at the end of that sentence.
Your lover of art. Yeah, guys, thank you so much for joining us. Artists,
Thank you for
is
having
there
me.
anything you'd like to say to the people before we say goodbye?
If you're
Just
still
a
hanging
big-
out to the
a
end
big-
of the stream, yes, hey, make sure you hit the bell. We are still going to probably do another hype stream before the end of before the end of the Kickstarter. Also, I stream
Who
other
knows?
art
Maybe
things.
May and Carter will show up. That'd be crazy.
Wouldn't that be
Maybe.
so cool? Hey, maybe we
Mhm.
surprise Heck and Bamboozle them some night when you're supposed to record, and we actually just
Oh.
make them do an art stream.
Yeah,
instead.
maybe
Oh,
we'll
I
just do
definitely
that.
won with
We'll
that
do that
Hunter
next
backup,
Wednesday.
by the way.
That would be great.
But yeah, no, we super appreciate it. I know both of us, Swan Named Emily and Older and Dumber, run Discords. If you'd like to chat with us more, if you'd like to come up with other questions before the next stream, you can hit us up for those. We're also all across all the socials and everything, posting all about this project. And as a reminder, this will be done and delivered before the holidays. And if you would like to special guest meet us and our human faces in person, we will have this at the convention in November at Twin Tiers Comic Con. So that is a double extra thing where if you'd like to get it signed, if you'd like to meet us and all of those things, that is something that you can do with this project.
Fizzy got the days off.
Yeah!
I hear there's even a super secret exclusive Twin Tiers Comic Con cover you can get.
No
Yeah.
way.
Secret
There
exclusive
is.
cover.
Shh, don't tell too loud. You'll have to see it by somebody that's not on the stream right now and not one of us.
It's true.
Wow.
No.
They might even be
Unknown.
an award-winning graphic novelist.
They might
It's
be.
like it's like we have something hidden behind our DM screen.
Whoa.
Ooh, yes. And if you want to see what's behind Hunter's DM screen, you can go over to linktree.com/olderandDumber and support their Patreon and see what's behind Hunter's DM screen.
You can most of the time. Yeah, you can do that.
It might be feet.
It's possible. Certainly
Honestly,
possible.
if you could get your feet up on the table behind your DM screen, I'd be really impressed.
And now I'm going to try and get my feet up on it.
Good night, everybody. We love you.
Guys.
Bye.